Hi, and welcome to Fertility Now. My name is Lorne Brown, Doctor of Traditional Chinese Medicine, clinical hypnotherapist, fellow of the American Board of Oriental Reproductive Medicine, and trained in the Kalish method for functional medicine. I'm the clinical director of AcuBalance Wellness Center, and today we're going to talk about 100 days to peak fertility. You probably, if you've seen an acupuncturist or naturopathic physician or other health coach, they may have said that preconception care, you'll benefit from 3 to 4 months of preconception care. I think the most accurate number is probably 100 days. And the question is why? So my goal, my intention is to simplify this concept. Some women have shared with me that they think after they get their menstrual bleed, that those 2 weeks, they just need to stop smoking and eat well to impact the egg quality. And although that 2 weeks does impact the egg quality, the recruitment, the maturation that your follicle goes through, so these primordial follicles, these resting follicles that are kind of no blood flow, nothing's kind of happening to them is what we understand. They're just in your ovaries, and then they get called into action. But when they get called into action, what we call recruitment, it takes about a year, just under a year from when they're called into recruitment until they're either ovulated or picked up in an IVF cycle. That's why just eating well for 2 weeks between your menstrual cycle and ovulation is not enough. And it seems like the last 100 days is the most important. So this is the part I want to simplify. Why is it 3 months? Is it 4 months? Why 100 days? Basically, what we're looking for is 4 ovulations. So depending when you ovulate, that number may change a bit. But I'm going to give you an example. So you have day 1 of your menstrual cycle. So this is the beginning of the preconception phase. That first ovulation, we'll assume textbook ovulation and menstrual cycles. So you ovulate on day 14 and you bleed on day 28. So you have your period on day 1, and this is the beginning of the preconception phase. So we're working on 100 days and leading up to either your IVF retrieval or that time where you're going to conceive naturally. On day 14, you ovulate. Your first menstrual cycle will be day 28, which is your new, and then you have a new cycle that starts, right? That next ovulation number 2, then would happen on day 42, starting, I don't want to confuse you, so I'm going to just stop here for a moment. I'm going to do a continuous 3 to 4 cycles. So you start on day 1, you have an ovulation on day 14, you bleed, and we're going to continue on after that first bleed. So the next ovulation number 2 would happen on day 42, which is 28 days plus 14. So day 42. Then you have another menses, which would be day 56 since we started preconception care. And then 14 days later, you have another ovulation. That's ovulation number 3. That's 70 days since we started this preconception. Then 14 days later, you have another menses, and that will be day 84. And then ovulation number 4 would be around day 98. That's why it's 100 days to peak fertility. We want 4 ovulations. So if we're at our clinic and we're doing acupuncture and laser and IV therapy, after that ovulation on day 98, if that's when you either have your egg pickup IVF or that's when you conceive, you ovulate and you conceive, then that embryo is set because the next 14 days, the embryo is no longer an egg or a sperm, it's an embryo. And so we're not impacting the quality of the embryo anymore because it has happened on day 98 of your cycle. Hopefully I have made this simple, not more confusing for you. And so this is where the expression nourish the soul before you plant the seed in the 100 days to peak fertility. We basically want to support you and provide treatment for 4 ovulations. So if I went abracadabra, so when I meet you, abracadabra, and everything's in balance, then those 4 ovulations later, that's when we expect that all the eggs that you start to release after 100 days, they've all been in that 100-day recruitment process. So they've had the benefit of good blood flow, lower inflammation, less toxins and oxidative stress, that body rust. So good blood flow, good nutrition, good pH, alkalinity of the cellular level. So this is the idea of if I went abracadabra, everything's great. So is it just 100 days? Well, in reality, it may take several months to get your body into balance, to prepare that soil, that cellular environment. So once that cellular environment is optimized, abracadabra, 100 days later is when we expect you to have the peak fertility potential, maximizing your egg quality. But that's why they say 3 to 4 months is really, it's 3.5 months, because you have your fourth ovulation, which is around day 98, if you're having 28-day cycles and you ovulate on day 14. So hopefully that helps why people say, give us 3 to 4 months to optimize your fertility, or why we say 100 days to your peak fertility. It's because we want to support you during 4 ovulation cycles, 4 ovulatory, that follicular phase 4 times. And that takes us to close to 100 days. Please check out more of the videos on Fertility Now. My intention is to take complex fertility ideas and simplify them. Thank you.